What's going on in the Tunnel fans? We back for another exciting week. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Got to give a quick shout out. We over here at On the Rocks, OST in historic 3rd Ward, Texas. Come hang out with us. They got a great atmosphere, great beverages, all that good stuff. You got your boy, Dallas Melvin, here once again. We got my co-host, Patrick True Tuesday. What's up, bro?
What's up with it? What's up, H-Town?
And then we got a new face in the house. Kylan Butler, former offensive assistant coach for the Tennessee Titans. Let's give him a welcome.
AKA KB. Welcome to the show, baby.
Appreciate it. I appreciate
we having you.
Oh, yeah.
So, KB, we're going to throw it to you real quick. We're going to put you on the hot seat, brother.
Okay.
Tell us about yourself. Tell us how you got into football, where you from, all that good stuff.
All right. So, originally from Oakland, California.
Oaktown?
Oh, yeah. Oaktown. You know, Bay Area. Yeah.
Hot dog.
We got the Bay Area in the house.
Underground.
Oh, yeah. You know.
Hawkins, gospel.
Now, that's a little bit before me now.
I know. You don't know about that. I grew up coaching. So
there you go. But went to De La Salle High School, ended up going to University of Arizona, played for Stoops, played for
Which
Rich
Stoops?
Rodriguez.
You know, it's like 20
both
of them.
Both of them, Mark and Mike.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
all right.
You know, they both get down. Birds of a feather flock together.
Right.
Yeah.
But I ended up being a graduate assistant there at the University of Arizona. Went on to be an offensive coordinator at West Virginia, Glenville State College. And went to Morehead State, and then it was with Tennessee Titans for the last 5 years with skill positions, 2 quarterbacks for the last 2.
Wow, Morehead State, Kentucky.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, we're gonna definitely get into some of those questions about. We got some hometown favorites over there at Tennessee.
Okay.
But we're gonna talk to you about them in just a second. So while you were at Tennessee, who are your head coaches there?
So the head coach was Mike Vrabel my first 4 years or 3 years, and then Bill Callahan my last 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
So tell me one or two things you learned from working on Mike Vrabel that made his experience, memorable.
Culture,
okay.
teach, develop, inspire. Man, so he's trademarked his culture so that can be repeated over and over again. So it's no surprise when he touched the ground in New England.
Yeah.
He hit the ground running.
Okay.
It's going to be the same rinse and repeat. Those guys are going to know what they're doing and what they want to do when they come onto a field. And, man, it's just awesome to see those guys have success that they had. I got so many friends and partners that play for them still and coach on that staff. But Vrabel is going to be a culture setter day one, no doubt.
Okay. So what about Callahan?
Callahan passed. He came from Cincinnati, so we got him from the Cincinnati Bengals. So they had just came off I think it was 2 years ago from the Super Bowl run.
Yep.
With Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, all those guys, T. Higgins.
Yes.
So they were potent in pass game, precision pass game, as he would say. So the pass game was precise. So being under him in the quarterback room, man, that was an awesome experience. He's now with the New York Giants as a quarterback coach and pass game coordinator.
Yes.
Yeah.
And being in Tennessee, what was it like last year? We're going to talk about the mock draft. Right. What was it like going after Cam Ward, South Texas boy?
Cam, that's my dog. That's my dog.
Yeah. What you think his future?
Well, Cam has a bright future. The thing that I love about Cam is that he's a galvanizer. And at that position, you always need a guy that can galvanize the team and that can hold a locker room.
Okay.
I think that's something that's underlooked, the intangibles at the quarterback position. Cam possesses that. Obviously he has the arm talent. You can see that. He can run. He can escape. We saw that at Miami. But what you don't get to see is how he interacts with his teammates.
Right.
And how he can inspire those guys in the huddle to go out. I mean, you hear it all the time. Peyton Manning and Tom Brady being in the huddle.
Big leader.
And being a leader.
Yes.
I think that's one of his underrated qualities that people don't know about.
Okay.
That's going to help him go forward in his career is that he's a leader and a galvanizer.
Yeah, and a lot of things he get from his parents because his mama was a coach.
Yeah.
And his dad
military.
Been working.
Yep.
Yeah, he's been working with kids for the longest, and that plays a big role.
Yep.
So the kid just got just an amazing story.
Yeah.
Playing in a wishbone power.
Wing T offense.
All that.
I know.
Yeah, and what he
We
done
joke with him all the
that.
time. Like, man.
And I mean, it's like I thought they'd change it for him, and then he took his team to 7-on-7 in state.
Yeah.
That's crazy. But his story is crazy.
The funny thing about Cam is in the last year, we actually had to encourage him to run more.
Right.
He's so much of a passer that he'll extend plays to pass. And we had to really get with him on, man, it's lanes right here for you to just take off and run.
Yes.
You know, so really using all his skill set, I think the sky's the limit for him. He's only, you know, cracked the tip of the iceberg as far as what he can do. I'm excited to see what they do this year. They've been having a good offseason.
For sure.
Yeah.
I'm
so,
excited
Tunnel
to see
fans,
that.
hop in the chat.
Yeah.
You don't often get a chance to talk to somebody that's coached the #1 overall pick in the NFL, that's coached high-level players at all different levels, especially on the favorite side of the ball for many of you, which is the offensive side. So we talking quarterbacks, we talking running backs, we talking wide receivers. So speaking of that, speaking of Cam Ward, you know, I can see why he was extra focused on passing because he grew up in that running style.
Right.
And, you know, for us, we really got to prove that we're a passer in order to get an opportunity to big college football as well as in the NFL.
Yeah.
So how was Cam as far as his development in reading defenses, being able to dissect what the defense is trying to do versus what they're trying to show you what they're doing?
Yeah, that was the biggest learning curve. And, you know, we started to see a lot of that, I would say around week 8, 9, you started to see him. He already knew it. You could tell he knew it. You could see it in his eyes that he had it. But to transition from the meeting room to the field, it was one particular play. We were playing Kansas City, and their defense, they give multiples. And, man, he checked us into a zero beater in our protection, checked the pass concept, stayed in rhythm, kept his base, threw a dime, first down. And just to see the progression with him, to be able to recognize, call it out, get it executed, and then play within scheme.
Right.
That's the things that you want to see because those things happen within 7 seconds.
Right.
We don't have all day. It's one thing to know it and then get to it, but it's one thing to get to it when we need it.
Right.
In the game speed, right? And I think that's something that was the biggest thing is his recognition of defenses and then him getting us into the best play for us to keep going.
I'm nerding out right now, y'all. Y'all don't understand to be able to talk this level of football with somebody with this experience. Hop in the chat. Go ahead, Truesdale.
What advice you would give parents out there listening right now, even kids with their parents out there listening right now? What advice you'd give them to make it as a quarterback, especially get to the pro level, how it's so important, because I preach this all the time, but coming from you coaching the league, having the first pick in the draft, what advice you would give them for us what it's like being a quarterback, how you carry yourself, and being a film junkie?
Yeah.
To let them know why that's so important.
Yeah. Film is definitely going to be a part of that progression. Studying the game, studying your opponent. But this is what I would say. I've been, doing some training in this time. And one thing that I can see from being on this side of it, you cannot get lost in the complexity of drills that you lose fundamentals.
Right.
Throwing the ball is like throwing a punch. In boxing, everything is from your feet, right? You gotta use the ground when you punch. You gotta be able to use the ground when you throw the ball. So to have arm talent and sling it like you're throwing it from first to second base or whatever the case may be is great, but the consistency of your accuracy and how you play is gonna be based on your fundamentals and your footwork.
Right.
So I would encourage parents to, as much as they can, keep stressing the fundamentals. The fundamentals, and I know it sounds mundane, but as you go at higher levels and you see these guys, these professional guys train, this is what they're doing. They're working on those fundamentals.
So speaking of you talk a lot about quarterback, but you're a running back, bro.
Oh yeah.
You're a running back, bro.
Yeah.
Tell us what are the little league players? What are the high school players? What do the college players need to do to be the next, KB?
Yeah.
In the league.
Yeah. I would start from their perspective, like I just tell with quarterbacks, fundamentals, man. Jump cuts, ball security, change your direction. It's good to do the things that you see on Instagram and they look good, but how does that translate?
Having great vision too, right?
How does that translate?
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? And so when you can see how drills translate, then you can repeat and maybe add something onto it. From my standpoint, man, I had great people that I came across that believed in me. Calvin McGee, we talked about him.
I know you've been talking.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. That's my dude, man.
One of the marquee coaches. I want to say he was one of the first marquee African-American coordinators in college football.
Yes.
Okay.
He was the office coordinator for the University of West Virginia. the University of Michigan, the University of Pittsburgh, the University of Arizona, and just his command in the room and how he handled a staff. Not by force all the time. You know, sometimes you had to say it how you had to say it, but it was sometimes you had to know how to talk to people.
Right.
You had to know how to, you know, you had to have interpersonal skills.
Yes.
You know, so from that standpoint, man, just people that are going to be in your life, that are going to believe in you, man, take a hold to that, because I had great people. Calvin McGee, Brian Callahan, he was the one who saw me and actually put me into the quarterback room.
Okay.
I was a skill position coach, and he actually put me into the quarterback room. So, man, those people that you come in contact with are going to be on your journey, whatever that is. You never know who that may be. Those people are going to be the ones that kind of push you along.
So we can see you being an OC in the future soon.
Oh, come on now.
And you're young. They like them young now.
Hey, now make sure they cut that OC money now.
So, question for you, and by the way, just as a reminder, go on our TikTok, go on our Twitter, go on our Instagram, In the Tunnel Sports Media. Check us out on YouTube. Make sure you like us. Make sure you subscribe. This is a live show, and when I say live show, my boy KB has known Truesdale for a long time. Yeah. I just met him a couple minutes ago. We didn't have a chance to go over all the questions and all that good stuff. So you getting it just like I'm getting it. Yeah. So I'm fading out just like I'm nerding out just like y'all nerding out, okay? Yeah. So
it's people
we
though.
Have a question. We have a question for the
We got a question?
Yeah, we have a question for
Kylan. Do you see any opportunity down the line to be an OC in the NFL, which is rare to see us in that role? One of the questions.
Yes. Great question.
So first off, why do you think we don't see many black or African American OCs in football? I mean, I can think of Leftwich is probably the last one.
Right.
Am I forgetting somebody?
I mean, I'll have to go off the list, but that's
most of the blacks be defensive coordinators.
Yeah, they are. And what I would say is, it's a lot of times it's the position that you play.
Okay.
So you can kind of look at that trend of black quarterbacks.
Right.
Trending to quarterback coaches.
Right.
Because those are the guys who necessarily, more times than not, trend to the coordinator position.
Okay.
So I would say that.
But if you have experience coaching all over the offense, that do help.
Correct.
Because they put you in a good position to set yourself
the
up.
quarterback room is definitely a coveted room. So like I said earlier, you have to have people that believe in you to put you in that place. But once you're in that place, man, I got some advice from Randy Jordan, the running back coach still with the Tennessee Titans. He was a longtime coach with the Washington Commanders. He said, man, make sure you get all the knowledge that you can out of that room. And that's what I've tried to do in those years that I were in there.
Gotcha. So we're here in Houston, Texas right now. I'm going to ask you about two quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Just give whatever opinion you want to give on them. First off, we got to talk about America's team. Dak Prescott, probably one of the best quarterbacks in the league, top 10, however you want to argue it.
Yeah.
How would you evaluate Dak if you were, going up against him, trying to put, his pros and cons?
Yeah. From what I've seen on film, Dak is going to be one of those guys that are going to be an example of the technique that you want to use. He's constantly on a lot of my drill tape as far as just footwork and just how he plays the game. The second thing, and I kind of hit on it a little bit with that, the intangibles with Cam, is Dak is a leader, man. Dak is a galvanizer.
Say that again.
Dak is a leader. He's a gal. And so I know everybody's going to say, well, why they ain't win a Super Bowl?
It take time, baby.
Hey, I'm not a GM.
We coming.
But what you can see from him is that he can win games.
Right.
And he can win you games. And there's so many times on film where you see him getting him into good plays and getting him out of bad plays.
Right.
And I think that's something that, man, you can't deny it. Whatever you want to say about Dak, you can't deny that the boy can win.
But Coach Butler, now you see him over there cheering like a Dallas Cowboy cheerleader. Hey. What kills me is them black fans on the bandwagon now. Some of them still, because that's where you get dogged out with all
that. That wasn't a bandwagon comment, though. That was a detailed analysis of one of the top quarterbacks in the league.
I'm talking about the black fans that always used to diss that.
Yeah.
And like this past year, everybody don't want to admit it, even people that can't stand Dallas, but he was the best quarterback last year in the league.
Yeah.
Can he go in again as the best quarterback? I think he can.
Yeah, well, I mean, you can look at it from the standpoint of Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow is one of the best quarterbacks in the league. But football is a beautiful sport because it takes all 11. Mm-hmm. It takes all 22. Matter of fact, take all 33. You need defense, offense, and special teams.
Yeah.
So for us to have a great offense but not a great defense, I mean, I can't speak on all that.
That's what happened last year in Dallas.
And I can't say that they didn't have a great defense.
Yeah.
But I know for certain that it's a team sport to win a Super Bowl.
Well, I got another question. I got my question I want to ask.
Go ahead.
Second question about a quarterback in Texas.
Yeah.
What do you think, and what do you think his problem? And I know my opinion. I just want to hear Coach Butler's opinion. With Coleridge Bernard Strout the fourth.
We don't use acronyms out here because you got to earn it.
This,
you know when you say MJ, you know who we talking about?
Right.
So we got to call his full name.
Coleridge
Bernard Strout.
You get called by your initial, you a bad boy.
You're a bad boy.
If you ain't bad, we ain't calling you by your government.
So Coleridge.
Once again, I'm asking you, what do you think about Coleridge Bernard Strout the fourth?
Man, I thought that
After his first year. Okay, so
they got film on you.
That's what
they got film on you.
After his first year. After his first year.
He does show up on film. When you watch him, he does show up on film. But it's some of the things that are head scratchers. The fumbles. You know, fumbling the snap and things of that nature. I think that is one of those things where, as a fan, you look at it like, man, I could do that. I could go out there and catch the ball from the center and just kept us in field of play. I mean, because arguably, if you could look at that Pittsburgh game, if they just kept running the ball, they would have won.
But let me ask you this. Now, you saying fumble. What about all them INTs?
Oh, they did win. They did win that game, huh?
What about all them INTs? Interceptions?
4 interceptions and a half.
Yeah. And he
with
had
a defense like that.
Yeah.
With a defense like that.
Yeah, okay, so one thing I would say to his credit is that it is tough for a quarterback to go from system to system. And for him to go from Slowick's system to the system they have now, I know that it was a transition going from basically what is the Niners Shanahan system with Slowick to now New England system. I've been a part of that, and it's a little bit more that the quarterback has to do pre-snap, handling, protections and getting, the line set on run plays. Not even talking about pass plays, on run plays.
Because he's not going to run.
Yeah. We can tell where you at with this, huh?
Oh, yeah.
And we know the side of the argument.
But speaking of that,
But he's saying changing systems.
Well, I would
keep
say
changing the system for him, and then they would, with the relationship with him and Gerard, it's crazy.
Yeah.
But because to me, he's uncoachable. He got a lot of people out here fake out here with that Christian stuff. But the boy is uncoachable. And I gotta always tell everybody, he's never drafted a quarterback from Ohio State. But you keep changing coordinators, it do hurt.
I don't know if I will put the uncoachable tag on him yet. I will want to see this next season, his second year in this offense, and see how he progresses in the second year of an offense, to see how, to put that on him. But I do know that's a tough thing for a quarterback, to change systems and then a system to change into where it's predominantly favored on you to get it all called and lined up.
So
I'm going to be light today on Coleridge Bernard Strout the fourth, because I know you got some other things.
A couple other things while we're talking about this quarterback thing. What do you think about the so-called sophomore slump when it comes to rookie quarterbacks coming in and then their second year, which is why I asked you about the second year from Stroud. And then, by the way, we have some other QBs like Jaden Daniels. He struggled his second year. Talk to me about that sophomore slump and how you prevent that if you're a high-level quarterback.
Analysis by paralysis, or paralysis by analysis.
Okay.
Right. Sometimes you can get so much information, you go into your second year and you start to feel, hey, I got this, and you're processing too much. And sometimes you got to slow those guys down. Again, what we talked about, go back to the basics, man. Sometimes the best thing you can do, the smartest thing you can do, is do the first thing that you know to do.
Okay.
And I will attribute the sophomore slump to just paralysis by analysis. Sometimes those guys learn so much and they feel comfortable with it that they might try to do too much.
So why not, as an offensive coordinator, just, for lack of a better word, dumb it down, call plays that's real easy for them to get in out of, because it has some success, and just keep it rolling.
Yeah, that's a tricky position. I ask guys that question a lot, and sometimes we had the same thing with Cam, in some respects, because he was so smart and he was, taking it in. You could see in his eyes, like, man, this kid got it. He understands what we're saying to him. So you want to advance him into more offense that you have for the team. But you have to understand where they are, and you have to almost protect them from themselves.
Okay.
So as a coordinator, I would think that, going to that second year, understanding, hey, this guy does have a better grasp on our offense. He does have a better grasp on defense and recognizing what we need to be in. But I still need to understand that he's a second-year quarterback.
Yes.
So,
and that's why film room's so important.
Yeah,
exactly.
Speaking of
knowing the guy and knowing the person.
Knowing the person. So speaking of film room, we here in Houston once again. So we're gonna keep it in Houston as we roll through these quarterbacks.
Yeah.
You talked about Coleridge, Bernard Stroud, the four struggles. You talked about his struggles by having different defensive offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
So how you explain Super Bowl winning MVP Jalen Hurts, who's had a new coordinator for the last 8 years going back in college, came in college, balled out at Alabama, went to OU, balled out, then came into the league at Philly, got his team to the Super Bowl, outplayed Mahomes, without a doubt, when the Super Bowl he lost,
right,
and then got his team back there and won another Super Bowl. What are you talking about? You don't need no offense coordinator. Look at that cat.
So one thing I would say is Philadelphia got a monster D-line. Monster O-line.
It's all about the trenches.
And they got a monster running back.
It's all about the trenches.
It's all about the trenches. So, number one, if I can stop the run and run the ball.
So anybody could have did what he did?
I don't want to say that. But this is my point, though.
All right.
My point is this. Is that a lot of those coordinators, and you can look this up, fact-checking, a lot of those coordinators that they had, they hired in-house. So even though they were new coordinators, it might have been the same scheme and terminology. But
his name is Kellen Moore.
But even if it wasn't, it was the same philosophy of play call. They played predominantly through the run game.
Absolutely.
Philly was a run team.
Yes.
It still is.
You got the best offensive line.
I think one thing that they pushed up against this last season was that they got a lot of
load the box.
You see it all the time. No, well, you see it here all the time. Is that they hear the outside noise.
And Philly's a horrible place.
It's a
horrible media.
It
horrible
can be.
fans.
I've never been there, but that's what I hear. But they hear.
We got some Philly fans.
I think they heard a lot of noise, and they got away from what they were.
Hold on for a second.
Coach, you ain't got to go there.
Hold on for a second.
See that.
Philly fans, hop in the chat. Let us hear from you.
Yeah.
We got somebody that's been in the league, coached against Philadelphia. Let us hear what you think about hometown Jalen Hurts. I think he's just showing how much of a special talent he is. And by the way, you talking to a Cowboy through and through, so I can't stand the Eagles, but I got to give a man his props because that's not easy, having a new coach every single year that's responsible for your success, and you get that type of success.
But it ain't his fault.
It's not his fault. It's more a tribute to the coaching staff that they were able to have that turnover and continue the success. I think that's really a tribute to the head coach saying, this is how I want to play on offense.
Yeah, because I tell people all the time out there, Coach, and you can explain, because where you've been, you can't believe what you read and hear all the time.
Yeah.
And Philly, like I said, such a fan base horrible. People instigate things, throw stuff out of proportion. They boo you. Win or lose, they're going to boo you. Like they did Beyonce, too. Homegirl, everything. But my point I'm making is, you can't blame everything on him.
Yeah.
And they try to pick the players to turn against him. Like all the drama going on between Brown and him. You know, you can't blame Hurts for that.
Yeah.
So how many years have you coached in the NFL?
Five.
So 5 years in NFL. You played in college at Arizona.
Yeah.
Big Power 5, Power 4, Big 12 school now. They were probably Pac-12 when you were there.
Lost my money in March Madness.
So how has the players changed? Give me the difference between the players now, pre-NIL, and to the players that you're now coaching NIL. So you were a pre-NIL player, but now you're coaching NIL players.
I need that class action lawsuit.
So go ahead and get your money, bro. Don't forget about us either. Go ahead and pay this man so he can help us out.
Right. You know what? I had this conversation with somebody the other day, and it's really that the NCAA has not, and that now I know they just came out with some new legislation on it. I don't know everything that it is, but I know it's some penalties to transferring.
Right.
And it kind of it limits the players from how much they can move.
Right.
But I think that NCAA hadn't caught up to the NIL era. And I think that it was tough for coaches because the players didn't have to stick with it. I mean, imagine if you were in a contract that you could get out of, and a coach is trying to hold you accountable, and you looking at him like, I can leave at any point. Don't you know that? And so I think that it set a culture in college sports and NIL culture that you could get up and go when you were disgruntled. And you didn't have to fight through that adversity that college sports put in front of you to grow you. And I think a lot of coaches got, frustrated with that. I saw a lot of basketball coaches retiring.
Right.
Nick Saban, I don't know if that was a part of it, but,
it was. He said it.
To those extents.
But I just hope they change the transfer rule.
I think that they,
and I hope that because the problem with a lot of these kids out here, and I'm just going to tell you like it is, especially with some of these black kids, they scared of competition. And some of them, the minute you yell at them and you get on them and trying to teach them how to be a man, they want to run. Mm-hmm. And some of them not used to that male figure. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? It's like, where is the brotherhood? You got a kid in school for 4 or 5 years and go to 4 or 5 different schools.
Right.
Come on now,
right.
The
other part I would say is that you had to wait your time. I mean, it was a multiple players. Like I can think about Josh Jacobs at Alabama, running back at Alabama. I mean, he got drafted as a second or third guy on the depth chart, and he had to wait his time through to be that guy. Well, now in the NIL era, you could just transfer and go be that guy at another school.
And sometimes you can be a guy right away, which is cool.
Exactly.
But what I hate is how they doing the FCS players and HBCU players. They want to sign them and get them away from them schools, but all they doing is using them for an extra body, paying them good money, and they being a backup.
Yeah.
Instead of them staying where they at, getting picked up.
So here's my question though. Yeah, you can transfer to go be the guy, but that don't necessarily mean you're gonna be the guy. I mean, you go back to Thurman Thomas and Barry Sanders days.
Correct.
They sat behind each other, and then once they got a chance, then you learn from the guy in front of you.
Yeah.
So now when you got your chance, now you balled out.
And my thing is sometimes you have guys transfer, they could be the man right away. Which is nothing wrong with that, but going 4 or 5 times, come on, man.
Yeah, nah, that's...
Yeah.
So somebody in chat said, but they can cut you whenever they want to, so why can't we leave? Why can't the kid leave whenever they want to leave?
I think that you should be able to leave when the coaches leave. I think you should have an aspect where a portal opens up when you have a coaching turnover. I think the problem is what Pat was referring to, is that when you're transferring 4 or 5 times.
Yes.
Because is it 4 or 5 times where somebody is... against you, what's going on that's making you transfer that much? So I'm all for the player getting paid, his likeness, in profit, whatever that may be in the market. I love it, but I think that it's an aspect of it that it's not real for real life. You don't get to just leave your job, because you don't like your boss. There's consequences to that. So. I think that we're kind of setting those guys up. It's a catch-22. You're setting them up for failure, but you also want them to, profit off of their image as they progress in college sports.
So obviously you've been looking at the college kids, looking at the draft.
Yeah.
Give us your top players. Top quarterback other than Fernando. We know he's going number 1. Give us another quarterback we should be looking at. Running back, wide receivers, we should be looking at coming in the draft.
I like Simpson, the kid from Alabama. I think he's going to be a contributor. One thing that I don't want to say it's not a heavy quarterback draft.
It's not.
It's people say that it's not. I think that there's value in these guys, and I think you have to understand what role they play. Where you get messed up is how high you take them. Now, that's to the GMs and the teams respective of when they take those guys. But I think the teams that do get them, they're going to be able to bring value to those teams. I think Ty's going to be able to bring value. I talk about it a lot, but I think this is a big part of the draft process is getting to know these guys. You go down to the that's what the combine is about. You want to see them run, throw. You can see that on film. But I can't get to talk to you and look you in your eyes, see how you interact with your teammates, see how you interact with other people, see how you interact with coaches and things of that nature. I think that's going to be something that's going to help that kid as he goes forward. You can see the competitor. He's got a competitive stamina in him. He's a competitor. I like his arm talent. I think that he's going to translate to a value position in the league. The other guy I like is the running back, Love out of Notre Dame, man.
Oh, yeah, he's a baller.
Baller. A lot of people are comparing him to, what's your boy out of Detroit Lions?
Oh, Gibbs.
Yeah. I think he's that much of a difference maker in the run and the pass game. I think an underrated quality for a back is to be a contributor in the pass game. Can I throw you a check down and you take it
that's the key.
to the 40 yards to the house?
Key.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's something
That's how Dallas drafted, what's his name, Ohio State.
Jaden Blue.
Yeah, Jaden Blue out of Texas.
Yep.
I love that
I'm
kid.
talking about the way they had in the past. What's his name?
Ezekiel Elliott?
From Ohio State. Years ago they drafted. Because you know
Ezekiel
those running
Elliott,
backs weren't going first round.
Yeah.
To
Ezekiel Elliott, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
He was good at that.
Yep. And even you think about Ezekiel Elliott and Tony Pollard. When
Yeah.
they had that two-man
Oh, yeah,
combination,
that's a hell of a 1-2 punch.
I mean, that was because you knew Tony Pollard was coming. He's a hell of a protector. He's going to come and he can recognize it. But when he got the ball in space, that guy was a weapon. He was a weapon to take a 5-yard gain to a 20, 30-yard gain. And I think that's something that's underrated. I think that he can do and be a difference maker in that respect. I like, from receiver standpoint, as hard as it is for me to say, I like the kid out of ASU. I like him. I think he's going to be a guy that can come out. He's going to be a guy that's a big body receiver. He can put his foot in the ground, change direction. He's got good ball skills. And one thing that I really like about it is he can get off the line of scrimmage.
So you like him more than Cardell Tate out of Ohio State?
I mean, we're talking about this. I want to say, I'm saying value here.
Okay,
I'm
gotcha.
saying
Gotcha.
value.
Now, the funny thing about that kid at Arizona State, he can ball.
He can ball.
The sad part about it is Dion ran him off. Your boy ran him off. So Dion, you gonna pay for it on draft day, baby. Get your Louis, he get his Louis way to the lead, baby. Because he will be a top 10, top 15.
I mean, at the same time, a lot of kids are transferring from a lot of programs. So,
no,
I mean, whether
the
he
coach
was
should
at
put him on
Colorado,
blast and tell him to get their Louis and get on.
I mean, come
on
on
now.
now.
The man hurt too much. Come on now. Man was coming off a major injury. Kid from your neck, back of the woods, Dallas, by the way. You know, so come on. So that's going to be funny to see.
So,
but I love that kid from Arizona State.
Yeah.
I love Tate, too.
So I think one of the opportunities for your former team, you know, Tennessee Titans, was that offensive line.
Yeah.
Talk to us about, you know, obviously I think that inner offensive line, center, guard areas where they really struggle. Give us some names coming out of the draft from an offensive line standpoint. We probably, not necessarily just for Tennessee, but we should be looking out for.
I'm going to be honest with you. I can't give you too many names.
Just give me one.
I'm not going to lie.
The guy to Miami, Fedora?
Yeah, it's about
Falana?
Yeah, the kid
Yeah.
Okay.
So how important is that offensive line from a running back or quarterback standpoint as far as, you know, because everybody can't have the best offensive line in the game.
Yeah.
But arguably, the Patrick Mahomes didn't have the best offensive line. He won Super Bowls, or at least got him Super Bowls. So how can the offensive line help out the quarterback help out the offensive line to be successful?
No question. I mean, the offensive line is going to help with the quarterback by just letting him have time to, you know, progress and throw the ball. Obviously, the run game is going to be pivotal to be able to go down there and run the ball. But the quarterback's playing on time and playing in sequence, that's really what's going to help the O-line be able to protect better. Because one thing that those guys are understanding is they know when the ball should be coming out.
Okay.
They know when the ball should be coming out. And I think that being able to play in time and play in sequence is going to help those guys protect and be able to do what they need to do.
So we're live show, so we're in the chat. Somebody got a good question for you. Do you ignore the measurements when it comes to a person like Bain from Miami, the DN from Miami, got all that production, or do you go on the history, or you look at the tape and go on the history? So when you're looking at players, what's more important? Their measurements, like, you know, they say you got short arms, and they say quarterbacks in the past had small hands.
Yeah.
Do you go off the measurements, like at the combine or pro day, or do you more go off the tape?
As a coach, I'm going off the tape. Now, what comes into play as the measurements is, where do we pick him? If you got the number 1 overall pick, do you pick a short arm defensive end? Or do you take somebody else? Do you trade out of that? Because you can obviously see his production on the field. And, I mean, we can all see that. His ability, I tell you what, his ability to bend, I mean, that guy, to be that size and be that girth,
right,
and be able to bend and dip, that's something special. And I think he's going to be able to translate into a premier rusher when he gets into the league. I mean, it's a premier rusher, but he's going to be able to translate into a rusher in the league.
This is my opinion on that. What people have to realize, football, people want to look for football players.
Correct.
But sometimes measurements plays a key role. Like, this kid got short arms, but he can play.
Yeah.
But you can't have another person on the team just like him on the other side.
Yeah, we can't have a whole team.
Measurements play a major role, and it helps a lot of athletes making it too.
Yeah.
For a prime example, I can't think of the guy's name. Years ago, they had a 6'2" offensive lineman from Georgia, got drafted in the first round, I think by the Rams, but he had measurements was out this world. You know, you take Green, not to switch sports, but he's an undersized center, but he's 6'7" with long arms, feet control, and all that. That's the key thing. So measurements is a key, but at the end of the day, football is the key. And it's like I said, depending what kind of scheme you run, you have to go after certain type of measurements.
So I'm gonna let you give your comment.
Yeah.
Has measurements ever changed your mind as a coach of a player after you looked at the tape? So you've been watching this guy.
Yeah.
Then you go to the combine, and he really not 6'4". He more like 6'1" and a half.
Yeah.
And he's a quarterback, and you know he got to throw over these linemen that's
Right.
6'7" and 6. Has measurements ever like changed your mind or gave you pause after what you saw on the tape and said, well, I don't know?
I would say the only time that measurements have really, far as size, I can tell the size. You can tell if I think that's something that you can eyeball. When we go to the combine, when I go to the combine, is he faster than what I thought?
Right.
Or is he
He's
slower than
yeah.
what I thought?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what I'm paying attention to. So if he goes out there and runs a 4.3, but he played like a 4.6, well, why don't you play like that? Or if he played like a 4.3, but he ran a 4.6, coach, he might got a motor. So I think that it comes into play when it's something that's outside the realms of what I already saw on film. I think that's where it kind of plays into a factor.
So what do you think about these guys that go to the combine and then shoot up the draft board like the guy at Ohio State?
Yeah.
Stotts. Like he was like 15 to 12 to 15. Dallas might get him. Now he's like a top 5, top 6 pick because he had the fastest of a defensive lineman. He jumped the highest. He jumped the longest. But the tape didn't say that. Tape said he was good. The tape didn't say he was that good.
Yeah.
So is he that good? Or
Nah, he's good. Shit. And on top of that, like you said, measurements, he did all the stuff he could. He went from safety to, remind me of a kid I got right now, it's a poor man style, Jamarcus Hudson. Everybody been telling everybody, best outside linebacker in the country.
Yeah.
And he remind me of a lot of styles, same type of transaction body. But yeah.
For the top guys, I would say that, again, if it's something that's he's slower than what I thought or faster than what I thought, but when you get to down the line guys, I think that when they show those times, those crazy broad jumps or vertical jumps or the 40 times, I think it adds to their versatility to be an offense or defense, but really be a special teams factor. My eyes light up for guys like that when I see, man, this kid is 6-something. He can run a 4.4. He can jump a 10. Whatever it may be. He's an athlete that we can use on teams. Because we only get a certain amount of them on game day.
But see, the thing is, we talk about all the big numbers that make their stock come up. What do you think about, I think he's Nigerian, African kid, just went to that combine with the Commanders facility, never played football. They talking about drafting him in the second, third round, and his numbers was insane, man.
I mean,
that was crazy.
I mean, you see it every year. Somebody's going to take a shot on a guy. But for me, it's got to be a combination of the film and the numbers. More so the film.
Kid don't have film.
Yeah, more so the film and the person. The film and the person. But you're going to have people that take a shot on some guys that might have some film that or have some numbers that don't match up.
So speaking of that, we're in the chat. Somebody said, Lynn said, is Kylan Murray being held back because of his size?
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Quarterback Coach. I coach in the NFL.
Is he being held back because of his size?
Yeah. I mean, nobody wants to give him credit.
A lot of things. Size, not studying film, want to play video games all day, attitude bad like it's crazy daddy, Kevin Murray.
I can't say is he's being held back because of his size because he can't change that. But I think he does a good job of playing around that. He understands from a vision standpoint how to escape but still remain a passer. You see that on film from him.
Exactly.
But a lot of the things that you hear, and I'm not there, but you hear a lot of off the field or in the locker room type things. So is that the case? I don't know. But you want to see that guy. You want to see somebody get into a consistent playbook with a coach, with a staff and a system, and see what it can do.
Well, my thing is, you're already short like Gary Coleman, and then your ass don't study film and everything. All that's hurting.
Yeah.
And he's short like Gary Coleman.
Yeah.
So with his attitude, he's too short. I wouldn't take no quarterback there. I'm 5 now. I'm taller than him.
Now, he signed with
He got
Minnesota.
set.
Minnesota.
So it's
he's
going to be interesting.
Oh, he already said.
Yeah, because Minnesota is one of those teams where, and this is to my point I was going to get with you earlier because you brought up Draymond Green. The league is turning, in my opinion, into systems over stars.
Yeah.
It's going to always be stars, but if you can have systems in place, it mitigates the amount of money that you got to pay to certain guys at certain positions. I mean, look at the two players that come to mind on basketball and football, Brock Purdy and Draymond Green. Those two guys right there are system fits.
Yes.
You take them in other positions, or you take them to other teams and other schemes, do they fit? Do they have the same success? I don't know, but I know that Brock Purdy has a lot of success in San Fran, and Draymond Green has a lot of success.
And it's been so much low-down dirtiness when it comes to system. Because I look at Jamarcus Russell, they didn't want him at OC and put him in bad positions.
Yeah.
It means a lot of dirty stuff will go on.
Yeah.
So we're in the chat. We got some haters in the chat. Somebody said Dak, why they haven't won a Super Bowl. I'm just acknowledging the chat.
That's a good question.
But we're going to go ahead and
That's
give you
a
an
good
opportunity to say, you know, do you think they got a chance if they can get some decent defense to be a Super Bowl contender with Dak?
That's a tough division. I would say that, first of all. That's a very tough division to make it out of. The NFC has been very hot to come out of. And but I think that they have the talent, you know, from an offensive standpoint. Pat talked about it earlier. Dak Prescott, I mean, you can see it.
You got to get the defense.
You know, they got Christian Parker, who's the new defensive coordinator, just came from Philadelphia.
Yeah, I like him.
I like him. I think he's going to do a really good job offensively. And if you can pair that with that Philadelphia attacking style front, I think that they're going to have some success that might translate that they haven't seen in the past.
But I'm going to ask you this. I think Jerry got something in his sleeve, which I know everybody going to be the next Thursday night wondering. Do you think he's going to pull up to get Styles? Because they get Styles. Do you think he's going to trade up to get him there? Number 12, right, Melvin?
Yeah, they're number 12.
Do you think he's going to trade up to get Styles?
Would you trade up to get Styles from, let's say you got to go, you're at 12. Let's say you got to trade a first-round pick next year plus a third-round pick next year to trade up to 5 to get Styles.
For me, it goes back to what's our essential needs. And if that fits the essential needs of that guy, if we're sitting at that position and the guy that sits that essential need that we feel is going to put us over the hump is there, I think you do it. If that guy's not there, I think that you continue on the plan that they have. And those guys have so many contingent plans on who's there at that position.
Exactly.
And who's behind them and who's picked already in front of them.
My thing has always been you don't trade up and get a big-time player unless he's going to do exactly that, put you over the hump.
Right.
Because, you know, you're giving away opportunities for somebody else to come on your team that can help you build, quote, the system that y'all talking about.
Yep.
You need multiple players in order to do that, for sure. So we got to talk a little bit about the WNBA. Mm-hmm. They just had their draft recently. They
broke my heart. They traded Flage.
We're gonna talk about that.
The Monarchs had Flage, man. I thought we had her.
You the Oakland dude,
Yeah.
Golden State dude. We're gonna talk about that. So WNBA, Azzy Fudd went number 1 to my Dallas Wings. We got Paige Becker and her girl Azzy Fudd.
I'm sorry, Jokers had no one picking boys, men, and girls.
Exactly. So we got the number 1 pick. She's coming. She's played with her before. They interviewed her. They said, "What do you do well?" She said, "I shoot." And I love that. I love that. She didn't hesitate. That confidence that came through, all that good stuff. And then UCLA set a record. 5 girls went in the first round. First time ever. UConn, as you can imagine, before had 4 in the first round.
Right.
They had 5 in the first round and 6 in the draft.
Yeah.
They won the national championship. That tells you why, for sure.
Yeah.
Do you follow women's basketball at all, or you keep up with them at all? WNBA?
I try to keep up with it.
Okay. So give me some of your players in WNBA if you have any.
I'm gonna go with the marquees.
There we go
my girl
for it.
Angel Reese
All
just got
right.
traded to Atlanta.
There we go.
You always want to see her do it for the culture.
Yep.
But you have some Paige Becker out there, Brittany Griner. You got your girl, what's her name, out of Vegas?
Yeah, Skylar. I like Skylar.
Asia Wilson.
Asia Wilson.
Asia Wilson.
Hey, now, Sorry that I didn't remember the name off the top of my head. But Asia Wilson, to me, is a game changer.
She's a beast.
In the standpoint is that she's a two-way player that can score from multiple spots on the court. And it's no surprise why they had the success that they had in Vegas. And for me, she's the catalyst that's changing the WNBA right now.
Okay.
I think that she's a catalyst. She's so marketable, so personable, and she's a great player.
And she helped Bam get 83 points. Like, he wouldn't have been able to do that if she wasn't coaching him on the backside, for sure.
Hey, man,
so I'll definitely give you that credit.
Yeah.
I'll give her that credit for sure. So speaking of Flagene, so for people that don't know, Flagene was drafted, I believe, 5th in the latest draft by the Golden State women's team.
Yeah, Monarchs.
But then she was traded less than an hour later to Seattle for the young lady, Suerte, out of TCU.
Yeah, little point guard.
And so people are like, why would you trade Flagene? So if you dig into it, though, they already had an agreement before players were drafted. It didn't matter who the players were. They were going to swap those picks.
Okay.
Because Golden State didn't think Flagene was going to be there. So they didn't think Flagene was going to be there. Some of those UCLA players went a lot higher than people thought. And so, like, the GM for the Golden State team didn't want to answer any questions after that because she wasn't happy that they had to make that trade.
I don't know if I do it.
But she had to keep her word. She had to keep her word. She didn't want to be like Baltimore.
Hey,
she
I
didn't
don't
want to
know.
be like Baltimore.
Hey.
She had to keep her word.
I got to look out for mine.
So that's why Flagene didn't end up in Golden State. She's going to Seattle. Seattle's got a good team, though. I know a lot of people were like, man, why would they trade Flagene? Yeah. They didn't trade Flagene. They traded the pick who happened to be Flagene.
Well, I just want to say this to respect to women's sports is that you see so many personalities in their game. It's not just basketball, but it's the entertainment of the sport. It's the hype. It's the anticipation. It's almost like a boxing match. You got anticipation around a boxing match that you just want to see the two guys fight or whoever it is going into the ring fight. And you just want to see Flagene in Golden State, in that culture. I mean, she's a great artist.
Absolutely.
Great artist.
Rapper.
But to see her, in that culture in the Bay Area with her music, I just thought that would have been a great thing to have. And I was kind of upset that it happened.
She could have hooked over the E40.
Exactly. So, I understand that they had agreement, but, I would have loved to seen her in the Bay Area, playing in her music career.
I like to, it's crazy. I mean, I don't know if y'all saw the pictures of the WNBA draft.
Yeah.
Woo!
I'm saying
they was looking nice. I'm just saying, they was looking real nice. Real nice. So these girls, women are super talented in a lot of different areas. And it ain't just on the basketball court, for sure. So before we go, we got to do our due diligence, not just because he's on the show, but it just came down. Diana Rossini, who had pictures with Mike Vrabel, before the NFL owners meeting. She was an ESPN commentator for a personality for many years, worked for The Athletic. She decided to resign recently, as of today, and it has a lot to do with, what's going on. Vrabel hasn't come out. He made a statement. They both made a statement. We don't know allegedly what's happened, but at the end of the day, one of the more recognized personalities in the sport has decided to step down. What I will say, though, is there's been some coverage on this, but maybe it's me. When Ume did his thing in Boston, when some other black coaches did their thing in Michigan and in other places, it seemed like it was getting a lot more attention than what this has gotten. Not that it should, but from hey, if we're going to talk about it, we're going to talk about it all the time, no matter who it is and what they look like.
Melvin, do you know who the guy worked for? I'm not even going to put the color thing in this. He worked for Kraft. That's the type of guy Kraft like. Look at Belichick. Look what he would now. It looks like you say, Kraft.
But Kraft doesn't control the media. Kraft doesn't control the media.
Kraft, do his thing. Now, if this is really true about him and that girl messing around, Crab will like that.
But I'm just saying, I'm not talking about whether he did something or didn't do anything. I'm just talking about the coverage of it.
Yeah.
That's all I'm talking about is the coverage of it. So from that
They've been
standpoint,
covering it now. You might think it's been getting covered.
okay, all right.
But normally, it depends who your owner is too. Sometimes they can fire you for that. Crab is not gonna fire him.
Well, I mean, so here's my
He's
thing.
good.
If it had been Brian Schottenheimer, would we be talking about it more
If he
for
was,
the Dallas Cowboys? If it had been Shotty, would we be talking about it more?
shit, Jared just as bad as Crab.
But I'm saying, would the media be talking about it more?
Well, they're gonna talk about anything in Dallas because Jerry draws that attention. Jerry likes that.
All right.
So that's gonna happen regardless. But it is what it is. Things happen like this, and sometimes it depends who you're working with. Then at the end of the day, break down want to put the race card is. The reality is we can't do what they do. As a black man, you can't do nothing to mess up your job. Any little step we take, you know what's gonna happen. You know what's gonna happen, especially where you lay your head at. Like the coach from the Celtics did, who with the Rockets, that was my guy. We got a second chance, which is a blessing, but you got to be careful with that.
So as we wrap up, Coach KB.
Yeah.
We got what? Oh, hold on. We got some people in the chat. My bad. Which team that made the playoffs which team that did not make the playoffs last year you think will make the playoffs this year?
Tennessee.
Tennessee? Okay, all right.
I think that's a good division to make the playoffs. That division was stronger than what we thought last year. The Colts had a big run. Obviously, we'll see what they have with the quarterback position. Jacksonville, they had a big run as well. It's going to be interesting to see if they can do that again. Houston, they're formidable. They were always the front runner in that division. But I think Tennessee has added some pieces that are really going to help Cam and the rest of that. I mean, they added a bunch of pieces to the defensive side of the ball. One thing that's underrated is Jeffrey Simmons. I think he's a monster.
Oh, yeah.
We always talk about the guys on the edge, but Jeffrey Simmons is just as potent from the interior. I mean, him, and then they added another guy. Hey, man, I think they're doing a really good job. Mike Bergonzi, the general manager there, is doing a great job of adding the pieces around, not just on the offensive side of the ball, but on the defensive side of the ball and the special teams as well. So Tennessee can be
I'm gonna say the Cleveland Browns. Deshaun Fettis Watson would be comeback player of the year. I think the Browns gonna do it. They gotta give a shout out to my little brother out there, Coach Streak, that's got on with D-line coach job with Browns. But I got the Browns pulling it out.
Okay.
So I was probably on another team until you were coming on the show, and I dug into Tennessee a little bit, right?
Yeah.
So the thing about it I didn't know is Tennessee has a top 4 pick in the first 7 rounds of this year's draft.
Yeah.
So they got the 4th pick, and then in the second round, they got the 1st pick in the second round, they got the 3rd pick in the 4th round. So they have a top 4 pick in the first 7 rounds.
I think they can add on pieces. They talked about trading out of it. I don't know if he's going to do it, but they talked about it.
So when you talk about being able to put pieces together around somebody, you need bodies, and they got the opportunity to put high level. Now you got to go draft some good players,
right?
But they've done that. They've done that before in the past. So I'm gonna go with you. I like Tennessee making the playoffs this year.
I got a question to ask you, Coach Butler.
Yeah.
What do you think about the situation with the kid down in Miami? Something happened 2 years ago. The girl get killed. Yeah, the girl get killed
in a car accident.
Car accident. Now the family moved on and not worried about it. Do you think they're trying to bring him down and so other teams can get him? Because it's like now they're trying to use that. Did that happen in draft when kids
I'm not going to speak on that situation in particular, but I can say on character reviews and evals, one thing that you want to look for, and this is something for, college athletes and parents, you can snap this, but if it's an issue out there, do you take accountability? Number one, do you take accountability, or do you try to brush it under the rug like, I don't know what I know that I know? Right, and so if a guy can take accountability to it, he can own up, tell where he messed up, and then what he did and how it made him, better in his decision makings going forwards. You always look for growth in people, because at the end of the day, we got to remember we're dealing with young men from the age of 20 to 22 years old, and they're not going to do everything perfect. And, you know, they're going to make some mistakes, but if you can see that they're, you know, sincere in their apology and they're sincere about their accountability and trying to be a better person, I think those are the things that you look for.
For sure.
Yeah.
So, once again, shout out. Go on our social media, In the Tunnel Sports Media, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe to us. We're going to end the show like we normally do with Truesdale in the Truth Moment.
Yes.
What you got, brother?
What I got, is WNBA last night. We just talked about the draft. And what I have to say about it, being true, being real, Dallas Melvin, Coach Butler, a lot of those, last night was a beautiful show. It's a lot of beautiful young ladies got drafted, looked beautiful. They stylists did a hell of a job. I salute their stylists. Now, next week, watch it be a clown show in the NFL dealing with black players. And they need to take notes. And the stylists need to take notes. Please take notes how them women carried themselves, how them women did their thing, dressed against it and everything. Because every year I see this in the draft, NBA draft, NFL draft, it's a clown show. So all I can say is, some of y'all stylists, please take notes. And take notes how them sisters carried themselves with white, nice suit, business suits, and everything else. Because, you know, I remember when Elliott got drafted, he had a six-pack show showing. I remember when Golden got drafted last year for Green Bay, he had the darn Tiger suit on.
Yeah.
Boy,
basketball at Baylor.
Yeah.
It's just embarrassing, man.
Yeah.
So, you know, but.
So y'all heard it. Y'all heard it. Y'all got a chance to get it right. Make sure you get your stylist in line. Go check out the WNBA from last night. Before we go, just want to thank you, Coach Butler, for hopping on the show. You've really provided an element that our viewers, as you can see, you might have been able to see in the chat, but they've been hopping in the chat because we don't get the opportunity all the time to talk to somebody that's actually coached, you know, millionaires on the NFL level. We wish you the best, and we look forward to having you back on the show when you're doing your thing. So don't forget about us little guys, brother.
No.
But we're gonna give you a top 20.
He's my guy now too, man.
Give us a last parting, whatever you want to share with the crew.
Man, I would just say this. It's been a word that was shared with me, but provision above vision. Sometimes we go through life and sometimes we don't see, you know, where is our breakthrough coming? Where's my next opportunity come? I'm an entrepreneur. I don't know how this business is going to work. Whatever it may be, relationships, family, job-wise, keep going. I want to encourage you, progress, keep going, persevere, don't stop. You got provision above vision that you don't see. And, man, God going to come through for us, man, like he always does. And we just want to make sure that we just honor him by how we walk and how we move about our struggles and on our way to our progress.
We going to drop the mic on that one. Hey, we really appreciate it. In the Tunnel fans, thanks for tuning in.
Lester, we got Uncle Lester in the house.
Hold on for a second. Hold on. We got Uncle Lester in the house.
Was one of
You're the one that need to drop it.
No, this is one of OST on the Rocks faithfully customer right here. Lester, you're a big Texas fan.
And the Tunnel supporter, too.
Tunnel supporter, big time in the Tunnel supporter. Let me say that.
You know how we feel about the Cowboys.
On that note, we're going to see y'all next week. Look forward to us. Next week is going to be a special week. Look forward to our mock draft because the NFL draft is coming up next week, so make sure you tune in. Appreciate all the support. We love y'all. Peace.